So, Kisuke Urahara would say, "Who are you?" "I'm Ichigo Kurosaki. I'm Arthur Fujimoto, Diego Rodriguez, Ezekiel Nakamura." Well, that about answers my question. The personalities would all begin to fight for control, each one trying to explain their story and their own stake in the situation. It became abundantly clear that this wasn't an elaborate ruse or some sort of act. No, Urahara could tell just by the way that the spiritual aura was changing between each personality. Whenever Ezekiel spoke, his aura was completely different from Ichigo. It was as if he were sitting in the presence of someone entirely different. If you were just sensing them and you kept your eyes closed, you would swear that someone new was switching in and out of the same position. Only, when you watched with your own eyes, you saw that all of that pressure, all of that spiritual energy came from a singular body. It soon became apparent to everyone what the truth was, and they couldn't believe it. "No way," Urahara would say. "It seems as though our friend Ichigo has a host of friends living inside of him." "But how can that be?" Uryu would ask. "I mean, how is this even possible? Is he Ichigo or is he Ezekiel? Or is he Diego?" Shinji would ask. "Or is he Arthur?" Ginjo would say. "The answer is, he is all, and he is one," Kisuke said. "Ezekiel is just as real as Ichigo, just as Diego is just as real as Ezekiel, and Arthur all the same. They are real people, each one distinct. Can't you all tell? Their auras, they change with each personality. It's as if there's a new person. They're all enrolled into one." "What exactly are you getting at?" Ichigo would ask. "I'm saying you have other people inside your head, my friend." "But how can I even be? I know who I am. I'm Ichigo. I'm Ichigo Kurosaki, Substitute Soul Reaper." "I am Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Diego. I'm Visor. Arthur. Fullbringer. Why do I keep blacking out?" Oh boy. I feel like this is going to take a while. I better break out the video camera. "What's the video camera for?" Ginjo would ask. "Oh, you'll see." After hours of filming and getting much as they could on tape, soon all of the personalities would be briefed on what was going on. "So you're saying," Ichigo would say, "that there are multiple people?" Ezekiel said. "Inside of me," Diego said. "I'm one of 4 personalities?" Arthur said. "Mm-hmm. Now that we've finally gotten all of that squared away, you're all now aware of the other's existence." "But how is that even possible?" Ichigo said. "How is it even possible that I have other people inside of me if I don't know they exist? I mean, whenever I black out, it's not like I'm talking to them in my mind." "You're right. For some reason, none of your personalities can intermingle with each other. You're all unique in your own way. Depending on who's ever taken over, well, it seems like that person's in primary control. However, there is one thing that I find odd. You're divided by memory, but you're united by tragedy." "Tragedy?" "Your mother," Shinji added. "What about her?" "Each one of your personalities," Ginjo would say, They're all connected by the death of your mother. That's where I met Diego, at her grave. But why? Ichigo would ask. Why would Diego be at my mother's grave? If they're all different personalities, then how could all of them be connected by what happened to me? That's the thing. What if, Kisuke said, your mother's death was the trigger? What kind of trigger? Think about it. Each of your personalities has lived a different life experience. Under normal circumstance, none of them are similar to Ichigo Kurosaki, Arthur Fujimoto, Diego Rodriguez, Ezekiel Nakamura. All of them are different, yet somehow their point of origin, their origin story is all the same. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but whatever happened that night when your mother died, I think that's when it triggered. What are you saying? That my mother's death caused me to have a mental breakdown and create multiple personalities for myself? Are you saying I'm that delusional? It's not about delusion. You don't need to think about this from a human perspective, Ichigo. Multiple personality disorder. This is far different from that. It's not a disorder. But that doesn't explain something, though, Urahara would say. Why? Why is it that you have different powers corresponding to a personality? Well, for one, Ginjo would say, when I met with Diego and I learned about what happened to him, it instantly clicked that he would be like me, a full-bringer. Our powers come from our birth of being children whose parents survived attacks from hollows. And we came across him when he was fighting against Grand Fisher. Grand Fisher? Ichigo would say to Shinji and Hiyori. That's right. You were a real pain in the ass. Well, Diego was. He was going all out against that hollow. Nearly killed him. And for Ginjo, he would comment how with Arthur, he just took him up on a chance. And eventually his Fullbringer powers came out. Through that moon pendant of yours. The moon pendant? I never wear that thing. You don't, but Arthur does. Ichigo then reached into his shirt and realized that he had his pendant. He didn't even notice. But why would I have this on me? Or rather, why would Arthur have it? Just another sign that your mother is the key. The connection to everything, Urahara would say. But that's besides the point. We have more pressing matters to deal with, like saving Rukia. That's right, Rukia. I was fighting against those Soul Reapers. They came and they took her away. But it wasn't just you. It seems your other personalities had a run-in with them as well. Ezekiel, Uryu would say. He fought against one of the Shinigami, the Soul Reaper. And not only that, he was able to hold his own. And then you transformed into Arthur, and you were able to let off some devastating spiritual attacks. You called it the Moon Slash. And that's when you popped up. So you're saying Diego didn't make an appearance? No, but that's probably for the best, Shinji said as he picked through his ear. If you were fighting against the captain and he saw you bug out like that, no doubt he would have just left you to bleed in the rain. He probably would have tried to take your life. So you're pretty much lucky that Diego didn't make an appearance. Although, who knows, maybe it would have tipped the scale in your favor. So what exactly am I supposed to do now? Isn't the answer obvious? Urahara said with a grin. You have a distinct advantage, Ichigo. Well, more so than anyone else. You and your friends there, you're 4 fighters in one, a 4-man army. If you all could figure out a way to work together, to combine your power and fight as one, I don't think that's going to be possible, Uri would say. No offense, but the idea of a Soul Reaper and a Quincy joining forces, it seems preposterous. And the power of a Fullbringer is a lot different from a Soul Reaper. I mean, there is this bridge that's between a Visor and a Soul Reaper, so maybe that could be the link, Shinji would say. In the end, they are all connected, Urahara would remind them. Each and every last single one of you. Your power might be different, but in the end, it all comes from the same source. A different expression of your power. All in one, and you have a chance to accomplish something unlike anyone else. But before you even focus on doing any of that, 1/4 of you is missing from the equation. We need to restore your Shinigami powers, Urahara would say. So what? I have to go through some sort of training? Indeed. But not just for that form. All 4 of you are going to need to train. And how exactly are we going to do that? Oh, don't worry. I can devise some wicked methods. Of course, I will need some assistance, if you guys would be willing to lend a hand. So what? Now you're asking for our help? To send them back to the Soul Society to get killed, Hiyori would say. You've got some nerve, bucket hat. I don't know about this. I mean, he might be strong, but do you know where you're sending him? You're sending a sheep into a den of wolves. It's like you want him to get slaughtered. If you look at it from that perspective, then maybe. But don't you think you should have a little more faith? Having faith is what got us in this mess. Don't forget that. Yeah, you can count me out, Ginjo would say. As he was preparing to leave, Urahara would walk him to the outside. Look, I don't have any reason to be getting involved with Soul Reapers. I know. I understand why you hate them, Ginjo. After all, you were once a substitute Soul Reaper too, weren't you? You know about that? I know a lot of things, my friend. I've been around for quite a while. I have to ask, why did you take a vested interest in our good friend Ichigo, or Arthur as you know him? You had your own motives, right? Look, I'm not going to judge you about what you've done or what you plan to do. In the end, everyone has their own burdens that they have to bear. But do you really think that going down the path of revenge is the best option? And what other path is there, huh? How can you even stick up for them? Soul Reapers, the Soul Society. In the end, they're all corrupt. They don't care about anyone but themselves. You know firsthand just how evil they are. You've been wronged by them too, haven't you? Don't think I haven't noticed. The way you act and the way you carry yourself. You were once a captain, weren't you? Huh. So you were able to tell, huh? It's pretty hard not to once you've been around them long enough. So what's your story, huh? A disgraced captain living in the world of the humans? There's no way that you came here by choice. You were forced out, weren't you? Well, you're not wrong about that. Though, I can't say that I didn't see it coming. Then why? Why on earth would you even want to go back there to help him? I mean, don't you want revenge? I thought about that. It's not like it's never crossed my mind. I know that the Soul Society, in the end, they're a bunch of flawed individuals. But want and murder, destruction, chaos, all of that can be prevented. I may not agree with the methods. We may not always see eye to eye, but in the end, we still fight for the same cause, don't we? There's still good left inside of you, Ginjo. Of course, in the end, only you can decide your fate. But I like to think that there's more to you than that. You could accomplish so much more. If you want to go and take your pound of flesh, then by all means, I won't stop you. But in the end, where will it get you? Will you truly have what you want? What you desire? I'll train the kid, Ginjo would say. But other than that, I don't know. While you're at it, they heard another voice, but the only one standing there with them was a black cat, standing on the roof. There's someone else I would like you to take an interest in. For Ichigo, for Arthur, Ezekiel, and Diego, the training would be a lot similar, but a lot different as well. For Ichigo, he mainly focused on getting back his powers as a Soul Reaper. But that stage wasn't where his training would end. No, he had to continue with the others' training as well. And that was an area where Ichigo couldn't help. For Hiyori and for Shinji, they would train with Diego to help him gain control of his visor state, the power of the hollow, and the use of the hollow mask. Diego was the most unstable of the four personalities. Whenever Diego came out, violence, it was the only option. He preferred a more physical hand-to-hand combat style, using a pair of twin Moonblade knuckle dusters. He believed in the relentless attack, and it took everything to try to dissuade him from doing that. "What's his problem?" Hiyori would ask in the middle of their training. "I keep going after him over and over again. It's like this guy doesn't know how to dodge." "It's not that he doesn't know. He chooses not to." "It's unsettling," Hiyori would say. "He has all this power. If he just learned how to be a better fighter, he could." "This is my fighting style," Diego said with a grin, bellowing under the mask. "That's what you guys don't understand. The enemy's not going to expect someone to go full throttle. Everyone's always trying to counter, to parry, to dodge. But I came up with my own style. I call it the relentless attack. I've got the power. That means I've got the advantage. It doesn't matter what you throw at me because I can take it. And it messes with your mind." "Oh, so that's how it is," Hiyori would say as she donned her own mask. "If that's how you want to play it, then fine. I'll run my entire Zanpakuto right through you, and let's see how you like it then." Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go." "Mr. Tesai?" Genta would ask. "Is he crazy?" "Yes, my boy. Yes, he is. He needs to be put in a home," Uri would say. He needs to be locked away in an asylum and lobotomized. He would probably enjoy that. Next was Ezekiel. Ezekiel's benefits came from the others' training. As Ichigo improved with his Shinigami power, it almost had the reverse effect for Ezekiel in a way. The more refined that Ichigo became as a Soul Reaper, the easier it was for Ezekiel to condense and use his Reishi, thus allowing him to evolve as a Quincy fighter. This had another benefit. As for Uryu, training with Ezekiel was able to make him stronger as well. You could call it the rival or comrade effect. When you have someone strong to train with, it makes you stronger. And in return, you push someone else to their limits as well. I have to admit, Uryu said, speaking with Ezekiel, when I learned about what you truly were, I was a bit perplexed. After all, you're not really just the Quincy that you claim to be. But I am, though, Ezekiel would say. I know that I might have these others living inside of my head, but it doesn't change anything about who I am, Uryu. You and I are still brothers in arms. We are Quincy's. I understand that. But don't you feel at least a little bit conflicted? Somewhat. After all, my power comes from the benefits of a Shinigami's training. In the end, we share and inhabit the same body. We use the same Reishi. The more refined he becomes, the stronger it makes me, and it benefits my training. And I imagine that the same goes for him. It's a little perplexing that the efforts of a Quincy benefits a Soul Reaper and vice versa. But you could say that it's a lot like the moon. A full moon and a new moon. Are they not both the same? One is completely white and one is completely black. Yet they are both still the same. Just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean that you don't feel its benefits. That's the force that the moon gives. I guess you're right. And in the end, you've opened up my eyes to our training. I've been able to see and accomplish far more than I could have on my own. So for that, I am grateful. And personally, I want my own shot against that Soul Reaper. The one known as Renji, right? I heard his name. Yeah. It kind of wounded my pride that I lost to him in such a way. I've been chasing behind you for so long. But now, I'm gonna make you the one that's chasing me. We might be Quincy in arms, but I do have to refute one of your statements. I will be the number one. Ezekiel would smirk as he donned his mask of Mr. Knight. Well then, Uryu, show me what you've got. As for Arthur, he would continue his training with Ginjo, continuing to manipulate and use the power of the soul in various objects. You're going to be fighting against Soul Reapers. They battle using their Zanpakuto. In a way, the Zanpakuto is a spirit in and of itself, its own soul. I'm going to teach you a technique. It's going to be your ultimate defense against the Soul Reaper. I'm going to teach you how to hurt a Zanpakuto. How to hurt it? Arthur would ask. That's right. If you view it as just a weapon, then you're not giving it enough credit. When you fight against the Soul Reaper, you're not fighting a one-on-one fight. For you, you'll be fighting in a two-on-one situation. Unlike your other counterpart, Ichigo, who will have a Zanpakuto of his own, you don't have that privilege. You're fighting in a handicap match every time you're in action. You need to learn how to defend yourself well. So now, I'm going to teach you how to disrupt the soul. Sounds dangerous. It is dangerous. But you can take it because you're a Fullbringer. They would not be the only ones who were getting their training in. For Chad, Kisuke made the suggestion that Ginjo should take him under his wing. But if Ginjo was going to be training Ichigo, he'd have to take his talents elsewhere. Thankfully enough, he knew some friends. He owned a bar, and in that bar, he had some associates, fellow Fullbringers like himself. When Chad explained the extent of his power, he believed that he too was a Fullbringer. It's your lucky day. You found your people. As they walked into the patronage, they found a man who sported an eye patch, cleaning out some of the glasses. Along with that, there were a couple of girls who were sitting on the couch. One wearing twin tails, her red hair flowing on either end. The other one, her hair of a more darkened color. Along with a young man who was playing on a video game. Hey guys, listen up. This here is my friend Chad that I was telling you about. Another one? Yeah. We don't have a lot of time. You think you can level him up? The boy playing the video game looked him over. Yeah, he's got potential. How much time do we have? You've got 14 days. I think we can do it if we start grinding immediately. Don't go easy on him. We don't have time for it. Understood. Well then, young man. The bartender extended his hand to Chad. Nice to make your acquaintance. A fellow Fullbringer in arms. As for Orihime, she was a lot different from the rest. Orihime was observant. Unlike in the original timeline, Ichigo never had to fight against Orihime's brother. No, someone else did that. Because you see, Orihime, her situation was quite different. But when she asked Ichigo about Rukia's disappearance, confirming what she had felt, she knew what she wanted to do. Regardless of Ichigo's involvement, Orihime still held great affection for him. She wanted to help in any way that she could, but she knew she'd have to do it in her own way. It had been 4 months ago when the incident with her brother took place. Only it wasn't Ichigo that arrived to her rescue that night. It was someone else. Someone that Orihime had been grateful to, and she went out of her way to go and visit. Her friend lived in Tokyo. Well, at least that's where her school was. About a 40-minute train ride. The black cat would be following Orihime as she traveled. So you're going to visit them, are you? The cat would say. Who said that? What? Where? Down here. Oh, a talking cat. A talking cat. Hi, cat. I'm Orihime. You are Yoruichi. Nice to make your acquaintance. I've been keeping my eyes on you, Orihime. Is this really the path you wish to follow? Yes, I believe it is. I think this is the best way that I can help him. You're friends with Ichigo, aren't you? You can say that. Though I must warn, this path is not for the faint of heart. Your power has begun to manifest, has it not? So you know about them? Yes. I am very keen on these sort of things, Orihime. And I must warn, to use this power, someone like you, do you really think that you can manifest that kind of darkness? Well, when you look at it from that point of view, but I don't see it that way. They help people. Their negativity, their pain, it drives them to save others. She saved me. And I think she's the one who can help me best. I want to be stronger. I want to help Ichigo and the others. I understand. If this is the path that you choose to decide, then allow me to accompany you. I believe I can assist in some ways. If you trust me, of course. I do, but I don't know if my friend will. You don't know if your friend will what? Oh, Maki, hi, Yoroichi, this is Maki Zenin. Yeah, Orihime, who are you talking to? She's talking to me. The cat? What is that, a cursed object? A cursed puppet? No, I'm not one of those cursed dolls that you lug around with you. Hey, I resent that. Panda! Orihime said as she hugged him. Salmon, bonito flake, mustard seed, grain rice. Oh, hi Toge, how are you doing? So these are your friends, Orihime. Yes, they're the ones that helped me with my brother. They were able to exorcise his soul and grant him peace. Not his soul, his spirit. You would accidentally manifest a cursed spirit, Orihime. Jujutsu sorcerers, Yoroichi said in her mind. They are definitely something. Bold, she would give them that. So what is it, Orihime? You trying to sit in on more practice? No. I need to take my training to the next level. And what's that for? I'm going to be leaving soon. I'm going to be helping my friend and I need to get as powerful as I can be. My friend Yoroichi here is looking to help. Do you think you could... You've been training someone, Maki? Panda would ask. Rice balls, shark fin, tuna. It's just a little thing that I've been doing on the side. It's no big deal. You remember that mission that I took back in Karakura Town, right? Yeah, she was the one that I helped. And apparently she could see the whole thing. So she's awakened then, Panda would say. That's quite impressive, Orihime. Yeah, though I really don't think that I'm all that special. You're able to perceive and understand cursed spirits. That's not something to be taken lightly. But what exactly do you need training for? She's going to the Soul Society. You're going to the what? Maki would say. No way. Hot sauce. Tomato paste. No. No. You Orihime, do you understand where you are trying to go? Orihime, Maki said with a serious tone of voice. The Soul Society is not somewhere you go when you're alive. Don't even try to mention it, Panda would say. Look, Orihime, Maki said in a serious tone of voice. You don't talk about going to the Soul Society. It's a taboo. When you start talking about it, that's pretty much putting a death flag on your head. Oh no, but I'm actually going. Like, I'm going to travel there, and then come back. Oh no, Panda said. You sweet child. You sweet, naive, poor child. People that go to the Soul Society don't come back. Yes, that's usually the case, Maki said. And besides, Orihime, you've been making progress using cursed energy, but I really don't think you shouldn't underestimate her, Yororichi said. I want to see what you've been teaching her. Perhaps there are ways of bringing out her true potential. Wouldn't you agree? I am going, and I understand if you don't want to help me. That's not it. I do want to help you. I just hope you know what you're getting yourself into. I do. I promise. I'll be okay. Yororichi would nod as the black cat would follow Maki and the trio of Jujutsu sorcerers. Everyone was beginning their training, leveling themselves up and getting to the next stage. For soon, their journey to the Soul Society would be upon them. In the meantime, Captain Byakuya Kuchiki walked through the halls of the Soul Society, only stopped by 2 fellow captains. Well, how are you this fine day, Captain Kuchiki? Gin. When I heard about the situation with your sister, my heart became gravely ill. I wondered how you'd be taking it. I didn't think that you would let a conflict of interest get in your way of justice now, would you? I will uphold the laws of the Soul Society. You needn't worry about that. I would just as soon execute her myself. Rather bold of you, huh? Kenpachi Zaraki. Though I gotta say, this is the most frenzied this place has ever been in a while. Though I wonder when we're ever gonna get some real action. Can't you feel it? The other worlds. There's been a whole lot of stirring recently. Are you saying you've heard about the reports of the Civil War in the Beast Realm? Yeah, but we're not allowed to get involved in that now, are we? And not just there. All of the shenanigans that's been going on Earth, hell, even in the Kami realm, I feel like something's getting ready to shake. It feels like there's a fight that's getting ready to break out, and I can't be a part of it. You're nothing but a bloodthirsty drunk. Is fighting all that you care about? Byakuya would say. Hey now, fighting is the way of proving one's existence. If we aren't able to fight, then what are we even doing? Such foolish talk. Why, if you're looking for a fight, I'm more than happy to give you one, Byakuya. Do you really think I would waste my time on you, Zaraki? I doubt you could even make me use my Bankai. I don't even think you have one. I don't need one to kick your ass. Let's go right here, right now. Before Kenpachi had a chance, Gin would hold him back. Now, Kenpachi, there's no need to cause a fuss. Sorry about that, Byakuya. We'll be on our way. Oh, come on, Gin. You're no fun. I'm going to go get a drink. Ah, that's the funny thing about lively times. They can always get more lively. As for Rukia, she sat in her cell as Renji Abari would meet. So what's with you acting so insubordinate? You haven't been eating anything that they give you? I'm not hungry. And besides, why does it matter to you, oh great lieutenant? Oh, now I see what it is. You're just jealous that I finally made lieutenant. So now you want to try to mock me, huh? And throw it in my face? Oh no, not at all. You finally made lieutenant, and now you can finally act all uppity with the superiors the way you've always wanted to. Why, I could execute you for saying something like that. Well, why don't you then? I was just joking around. Seriously, Rukia, don't mean anything by it. Renji, am I going to die? Under normal circumstances, I'd say yes. But you know that Captain Kuchiki will probably speak on your behalf. I mean, he's speaking with the heads of the 46th Central Division right now. I mean, for all you know, he's probably pleading clemency. If anything, you should be grateful. Oh no, I highly doubt something like that. What? Why? Because I know what type of man my brother is. If it was up to him, he'd come here right now and execute me himself. Rukia, how could you say something like that? Because I know him, Renji. In the 40 years that I have been under the household of the Kuchiki family, not once has he ever looked at me. This concludes Bleach Midnight. What if Ichigo was MoonKnight? Season 1, Part 2. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow morning as we continue with Bleach Midnight. What if Ichigo was MoonKnight? Season 1, Part 3. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.